Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So yes, I have a new look today. Hopefully you guys don't think it's too weird. But anyways, I got to talk about Bitcoin and the markets. Market is open. Bitcoin hits a new milestone, 1 billion addresses. And there's more to talk about with Traders Capital and the Euro Parity. Let's get started. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com. And make sure you follow the brand new Clips channel. Welcome, 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 guys. Hopefully you guys are doing okay. I feel naked this morning. But, you know, it is what it is. It's time. All right, so let's start out with U.S. markets. Looking okay. The market just opened. It hasn't updated yet. NASDAQ looks like it's going to be in the green. Dow still kind of hovering. S&P hovering. If NASDAQ is going to be green, that's a good day. Normally, NASDAQ is a good indicator of what's going to happen with overall markets, with tech, with a lot of major companies, and of course with Bitcoin. So right now, today, right before the big Fed announcement, or the CPI data, I should say, not a Fed announcement, CPI data, inflation data, we'll see. We'll see what Wall Street does. I wish I could grow a big beard, you know, a big bushy beard, but I can't. Anyways. So there's that. Let's get started with everything else. Well, Bitcoin is still hovering around 20,099. So holding strong as it can with all the headwinds that's out there. I mean, I made all the cases last night and for the last several weeks. There's a lot of things going on. It's just really hard to push past all of it. But let's talk about some of those things. Number one, euro. The euro is basically at dollar parity. It's like 1.004 versus 1. So obviously it's very, very, very close. And I don't even know what may happen if the dollar actually loses even more strength against, or the euro loses more strength against the dollar. I don't even know what would happen then. But right now it's about parity, and that's because inflation. High inflation. ECB has not been as aggressive with rate hikes as Fed Chair Powell. And there is something major that's going on, which is that gas pipeline, Nord Stream 1, has been shut down due to maintenance. And many are fearing that it'll never turn back up. And what happens if Russia does not turn that back up after maintenance? Well, that means Europe is going to be facing some really cold winters coming up, because 40% of the natural gas supply comes from Russia, primarily going into Germany. So Germany is kind of freaking out right now, and so are some of the other countries. So that is the reason why euro is not doing so good. But who knows? Maybe it turns out to be a non-event. Maybe Russia wants the money, so they'll just turn it right back up. But we don't know at this point, right? So got to wait and see. But because the euro is taking a beating, so is the Japanese yen. The DXY continues to rise. The DXY is at a level unseen since 2002, 20 years ago. So this is the reason why DXY continues to go up, why the dollar is showing massive strength, because the other currencies are debasing, devaluing even faster, despite the fact that, we have close to 9% of inflation, and we're seeing our dollars disappear by 10% pretty much, or 9%, 10% every year. For other countries, it's even worse, right? Not only do you have inflation, but you're getting your value debased right in front of your eyes within the same year, within a few months. So it's not looking good. And a lot of people are charting DXY, whether or not it's going to start coming down, whether the bubble is going to pop. Right now, it doesn't look like it, because the other currencies are getting much worse, right? So that's the thing. All right, so what else is there? Well, I didn't know this until today, but some people mentioned this last night. about immense heat in Texas, in other areas in the country. Intense heat, getting up to 110 degrees, and has put a high demand on the power grid. So Texas grid operators tell residents to curb power as heat hits record high, and if residents don't, there will be rolling blackouts, according to the grid operator. So it's not a good situation. I guess where I am, higher up in the Midwest, it's hot, but it's not that hot. And at night, it still cools down to like 60 and 70 degrees. So I'm fortunate where I am right now. But I didn't know it was such a bad issue across the country. So hopefully you guys are staying strong wherever you may be, and maybe turn down the AC just slightly to help the power grid. All right, what else is going on today? Walmart buys 4,500 electric delivery vans as Walmart prepares its battle against Amazon. It seems like Walmart is the only company that has the money and the infrastructure to compete against Amazon. There's no one else that's even close. So, but I've been hearing that Walmart has been doing relatively well in their online battle, and especially door-to-door and in-store battle, since Amazon stores are really struggling. So yeah, they're going to buy this. It looks kind of weird. I don't know if they're going to self-drive. Probably. It looks like one of those futuristic EV cars that is going to self-drive in the future. But yeah, it does seem like Walmart is definitely not giving up and continuing its battle. And meanwhile, today is Amazon Prime Day. So before, I used to be very excited about Prime Day because a lot of Alexa devices and TVs and all this stuff would be, half off or 80% off or 70% off with lightning deals and stuff like that. These days, it seems like I buy from Amazon every single day, so it's not that exciting anymore. But if you are interested, check it out. One warning, though, is that if you're planning on getting a hardware wallet, if you want to get a ledger, for example, I would highly, highly, highly not recommend getting it from Amazon. You can't get it from Amazon. There's a lot of third-party companies selling like ledgers on Amazon. I would highly recommend not to get it from Amazon because you don't know if they've been tampered with. People could open it up, steal the seed phrase, reset it, reseal it. Maybe they install some malware. You just don't know. If you're going to get a hardware wallet, get it directly from manufacturer. Don't get it from Amazon, all right, or Walmart, or anywhere other than the manufacturer, right? So even with Amazon, someone, Ben Frog, and I appreciate all the positive comments on my new hairstyle. Ben Frog said Amazon has an official ledger store. Even with that, you don't know. Those Amazon employees, I don't know if I could trust them. But anyways, just to give you guys fair warning, because there have been stories people have gotten a ledger from Amazon and it was compromised, right? So just be careful. Be careful. All right, moving on. What about Bitcoin? Well, I saw this headline. It's never good. 62,000 crypto traders liquidated as Bitcoin and Ethereum takes tumble. And I just checked. Yeah, sure enough, you still have a ton of long liquidations, right? And this is just Bitcoin going up and down by like 1,000 points. And you have this many people being liquidated. It's no good. It's just people are just too greedy. Using, throwing on 20, 50, 100x, 125x leverage. You should not be liquidated just with Bitcoin swinging like 1,000 points. That just shows the greed that's out there. And unfortunately, this will continue on. I don't know if it's ever going to stop. So I think leverage overall is just a bad thing. Bad thing in this space. But yeah, it's hurting. It's hurting a lot of people and it's hurting overall market. But the good thing is Bitcoin continues forward. Bitcoin reaches a new milestone, all-time high for addresses. 1 billion addresses. All right, it's pretty much a linear curve if you look at it from Glassnode. It's just a linear curve upwards. It never really deviates. Right now, granted, this does not mean 1 billion users. No way. I would say every seasoned investor, every person that's been in this space for even a few months would probably at least have 3 to 5 addresses, right? Because there's a lot of wallets out there. So I would say conservatively, out of the 1 billion, you got to cut that maybe by 5, by 10, but still, it's a large number and it keeps going up. So it's very positive, especially now. I've been arguing, especially now with what you're seeing with bank runs around the world, with Peter Schiff's bank, with China banks, and with a lot of other banks. What we're seeing with withdrawals being stopped, banks being seized, and with all the hyperinflation and fiat debasing like the euro and many other countries that suffer from hyperinflation, this is the time to be getting into Bitcoin. These are all the reasons why Bitcoin was created. So yeah, it makes sense that the addresses continue to keep going up and up and up, and you're going to see a lot more adoption in the future. And this is a friendly reminder that this is even though we're so early in an adoption curve, we're not very early in terms of BTC supply. All the at the very beginning, 2009, 10, 11, 12, right? You could have got a lot of Bitcoins for very cheap. Miners were making a killing. But with every halving event, it's been harder and harder and harder to get Bitcoin, especially with the price going up too, right? So even though global adoption is continuing, the supply is decreasing. So you do the math. Supply decreases, demand increases. What does that mean? That means price is going to do this over time, right? So don't think that you're just going to keep waiting because in another 30 years, right, there may be no more to accumulate. It'll be way too expensive to be accumulating in 30 years. That's why you got to buy things when they are low and cheap. What else is there? Of course, there's a couple still metrics showing Bitcoin's oversoldness. Here's a Mayer multiple, which shows Bitcoin is as low as the 2018 low and even lower than the COVID 2020 low. That shows how oversold Bitcoin is right now, right? So pretty good. Here's a fractal pattern, maybe, that we are following the same steps as 2018, right? So bottom line, there's a lot of goodness, a lot of reasons to be in Bitcoin, which is why we all want to get in early and buy the dip. All right, the last few things I want to talk about. Shanghai of China allocates $1.5 billion to the Metaverse Development Fund. This is a city. This is not even a country or a company. So the city of Shanghai is allocating $1.5 billion to the Metaverse. So even though it seems like Metaverse is a fad, and only Meta, or aka Facebook, cares about Metaverse, no, that's not the case. There's still many that believe in its potential, and they are still building. Like right now, that's pretty insane. Also, Uniswap, there was a Uniswap phishing attack. A lot of people were sent emails, and supposedly a pool provider got tricked into this fake website, and somehow they convinced a lot of people to deposit $3.5 million worth of Ether in this new pool. I don't know the exact details, but it just goes to show you there's still a lot of phishing attacks, a lot of bad actors out there. So you want to be careful. Whenever you get an email from one of these projects that you may be invested in, I would highly recommend not looking at it, because normally speaking, like Ethereum or Uniswap or Binance Coin or Solana, they're not going to be sending an email. And if they're sending an email, you should really be suspicious of it, right? So be careful with phishing emails. And then lastly, Zhu Su of TradersCapital, he broke his silence, although this kind of makes no sense and just makes people even more angry. So Zhu Su is saying, yeah, we're trying to cooperate with the liquidators, but they're baiting us, and somehow they didn't go through with this Starkwire token warrants, which basically he's complaining that somehow that you know, the creditors is supposed to buy this new token and they never did, and that's very disappointing. And in a turn of events, I think this may have been revealed already, that Zusu himself has invested in CryptosRUs, so he's actually a creditor. So if they somehow get bailed out, or if they they go give out their assets and distribute the assets, Zusu himself will be among the first to get something back. I don't know what percentage he owns of CryptosRUs, but he's arguing that, yeah, he's not made whole because somehow this creditor or liquidator is not buying the token, so the value of CryptosRUs is lower, and he's going to be missing out. I think that's what he's arguing. It's very complicated. I don't even quite know what he's saying, but bottom line is this: he better watch out. He has made a lot of people, a lot of companies lose a lot of money, and now there's reports he's in the wind. He has sold his house. He's taken millions, and now he's still arguing that he should get something back. Right? He should watch out, and he should be thankful he's not in a jail cell already. But anyways, yeah, that's not a good thing. But I thought I'd share. All right. So outside of that, the market is swinging upwards. NASDAQ is up. Dow and S&P has swung up, so that's pretty good. Will we see crypto follow? Probably. All right, let's do some Q&A. Osti, Justin, Jacob, Better, David. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. MB, Greg, everyone that is being nice. Thank you. Beards are uncomfortable when eating. I wouldn't know. People with big beards, they could chime in on that. Do a trip to Europe. I'm not heading to Europe, but I am going to. Tomorrow I will be away. So tonight I'm gonna do, my normal 8:30 stream. Tomorrow I'm not gonna be doing any morning streams, only the evening one. And then for the next week or so, I'll probably just do like the 11:30 show. Yeah, I'm taking a vacation. I need to get out of here. Let's see. Tomorrow CPI data probably won't be down, but fair chance for next month if commodity prices continue to come down. Let's see. Tomorrow is a big day, right? I'll talk more about that tonight. But yeah, tomorrow got some big inflation data, core inflation, headline inflation, year to year, month to month. We're gonna have to see. It could come in better if inflation started to taper, or it could come in worse if inflation is still on the rise. Texas uses its own power grid since the Civil War. I've heard Texas power grid is kind of flaky because I heard that in the winter there were times where Texas, their power grid like froze, their lines froze and burst, and they don't have backup power because they're cut off from other parts of the nation. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Texas power grids. Spanish John, hey, appreciate it. Stop ordering sneakers. I have stopped. I have so many though. I've barely started wearing them. Graham says, I bought from Amazon. Is there anything I could do to check if there's an issue? Graham, there's really no way to check, because if you bought a ledger and it was resealed, I mean, I don't know how you could tell. So, I would I would be careful. I would say return it to Amazon and buy it from Ledger. That's just me. But you could you could do what you want with it, but just be careful. Um, all right. Sam, I am. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Sitting in a treasure safe for 10 years. That's not a bad idea. All right, I'm starting to catch up here. Come to Russia. I'm sorry to say that probably it's the last place I would visit right now. But interesting fact about me, I am 1/8 Russian. So I think that's right. My grandfather's half Russian. So that means my mom is 1/4 Russian. And that means I'm 1/8 Russian. Yeah, I am 1/8 Russian. Let's see. Because they shifted 20% to unreliable wind power and the windmills froze. Is that right? I thought it was more than that. Like the pipes burst and stuff, or froze over. Any new Lego sets I'm working on? Uh, right now, no. Right now, no. I want to get a lot more. I want to get that new roller coaster set, which looks amazing. Because I have the old one, the old roller coaster. The new one looks enormous, but I have no place to put it in my Lego room. So I've been holding off on the bigger sets, like the Titanic set. I didn't buy the roller coaster, the bigger Star Wars, like the like stuff like that. I've not bought because there's no place for them. Bought yesterday as planned on my schedule. If should I focus on BTC when it gets under 20K or keep buying 50, 25, 25? It's really up to you because I don't know if you have 50% in Bitcoin. If you don't, then DCA into Bitcoin is a good idea. If you do already, then you could DCA into ETH or anything else you may want, right? So it really depends on your portfolio. Have you seen Ray Dalio predict there's 40% chance of civil war? That's just BS. I don't know where Ray Dalio got that from. All right, let's just that's just I think that's utterly nonsense at this point. Um, Ray Dalio is one of the smartest man on earth. Especially when it comes to money. Um, but yeah, as for that, I can't comment on that. Well, I guess I did, but let's see. Russia is a great place to be. Much better in Europe. Maybe I don't know right now. I didn't know I had so many Russians watching. Seems like a lot of Russians from Russia is watching me right now. Well, I guess I appreciate that. All right, what else? 118 degrees yesterday in northern Arizona. I think Arizona will be used to that, right? I know Arizona is used to 105, 110. 118 may be a little bit too hot. I don't think I could stand 118. Um, Australia. I would like to visit Australia. Uh, the flight time would be crazy, but I would like to visit Australia. That seems like a nice country to visit or a continent. I don't even know. Edward. Regarding Amazon purchase of Ledger, when you set up the device, it gives you a new 24 word phrase when it means it was tampered with. It wasn't tampered with. Well, you could always reset it, and you wouldn't know the difference if you reset a ledger. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know if it was tampered with, right? So that's the thing. Like, if it was reset, I'm not so sure that the ledger gives you a new recovery phrase. I think it's the same. But even if it did, right? Who knows what other kind of malware or something that or virus that they can install in there. I'm not a hacker. I can't comment on all the things that people do, but I would feel very uneasy if someone got a hold of it, installed something, reset it, put it back in the box, resealed it, right? And decide to sell it at Amazon or even return it to Amazon. And Amazon people will look at it and say, okay, it's new. Let's just put it back and resell it. You just don't know. Why take that chance, right? I mean, if you order from Ledger, it's the same price. You order directly from Ledger, it's the same price. You know it's coming from Ledger, even though, yes, there's still a chance it could be tampered with, but I think it's a lot less than from Amazon. With everything else, I say Amazon is great. I buy almost everything on Amazon. But when it comes to hardware wallets, I'd rather be more safe than sorry. How can we find out in a bear market which new projects have active developers? Well, you could go in their GitHub repository and look at how much commits they have, meaning how many updates they have. Of course, you pay attention to the leaders and see the leaders and development team. You see what kind of updates that they're posting, what kind of projected roadmap, stuff like that. Their Twitter spaces. You just got to be active. You got to be active. Is it safe to keep assets in Binance? As safe as it could be, I guess, when it comes to exchanges. I don't see Binance closing down, but who knows? They might implement some feature that you may not enjoy, right? For example, in Binance.us, I think forced KYC upon people. Who knows what what new terms that they may come out with, right? I don't think they'll ever stop withdrawals purposely. I don't think they'll go under, but still, they control the keys. They can do whatever they want, right? But as for exchange, relatively safe, I think, especially compared to some of the other exchanges, because they are the biggest by far. And CZ looks like he knows what he's doing. Why does it take 21 days to unstake Atom? That's an Atom rule. That's not a Binance rule. It's the same thing with Trust Wallet, with any other wallet that does native staking with Atom. Not every project allows you to withdraw right away. Before Terra went down, if you unstake Terra, it took 30 days. That's just rules set. Is it safe to keep my Solanas in FTX? Same thing. Basically what I just said about Binance. I think FTX, very unlikely to go under, unlikely they're going to stop withdrawals, but you just don't know. You just don't know. It's still safer to keep crypto in your own wallet that you control yourself. All right. I think that's pretty much it, guys. I'll let you go. Today, markets was just in green, swung into the red. Hopefully we didn't get a giant fake out. But tomorrow, obviously, we have big inflation data. And there's still a lot of issues going on. The euro being at parity. Is Germany going to be shut out from their gas, right? What is going on? And there's many other things to worry about. Traders Capital, Zusu. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. But, stay strong, my friends. Bitcoin just hit 1 billion addresses. Its growth is still increasing. We are facing some tough times, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it together. So smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tonight. 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.